Let's take a look at your CFU packet for 4.2. Number 1, sampling by accountants. Accountants often use stratified samples during audits to verify a company's records, such things as accounts receivable. The stratification is based on the dollar amount of the item and often includes 100% sampling of the largest items. One company reports 5,000 accounts receivable. Of these, 100 are in the amounts of 550,000. 500 are in the amounts between 1,000 and 50,000. The remaining 4,400 are in the amounts of $1,000. Using these groups as strata, you decide to verify all the largest accounts and to sample 5% of the mid-size accounts and 1% of the small accounts. How would you label the two strata from which you will sample? Use Table D starting at line 115 to select only the first 3 accounts from each of these stratas. Okay? So what we have to do is we have to set up the last 2. So we have 500, in one of them, in the medium-sized one, I believe, and 4,400, in the small account strata. So what we need to do is, again, label and table these accounts. And then we're going to explain how we select the first 3 from each of those accounts. Okay? So, first thing I need to do again is explain how I'm labeling. So, I'm going to label each of the 500 mid-size accounts from 001 to 500 in alphabetical order. And each of the 4,400 small accounts a 4-digit number from 0001 to 4,400 in alphabetical order. Then I will use the random number table pick a starting point and record the 3-digit and 4-digit numbers that are in my 2 groups. They must be unique numbers. 3 and 4-digit numbers, i.e. no repeats. Okay. So now, I need to pick a starting line. It tells me to start at line 115. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take a minute here and write down line 115 so that you can follow this. So I'm going 61041, and then it was 77684, and then 94322, 24709, and 9, 7, whoops, my apologies, I'm going to backtrack a couple here, whoops, because I was repeating that 9, so 7, 3, 6, 9, 8, 1, 4, 5, 2, 6, 3, 1, 8, 9, 3, and 3, 2, 5, 9, 2. So now, what I want to do is go through, and I'm going to start with the 3 digits followed by the 4 digits. So 3 digits has to be between 0 and 500. So 610 would be ignored, 417 would be selected, 494 would be selected, and 332. That was nice, we got those rather quickly. Now I do the 4-digit numbers between 0001 and 4400. So 2470, ooh, that's a 9,000, that's a 9,000, this is a 5,000, 1893, and 3259. So, just want to note the first 3 accounts for the mid-size group, are, it was 417, 494, and 322. So those would correspond in an alphabetical list to those accounts. Then we would say the first 3 accounts for the small group are, so then it would be 2470, 1893, and 3259. All right, number 2 says attitudes towards alcohol. At a party, there are 30 students over age 21 and 20 students under age 21. You choose at random 3 of those over 21 and separately choose at random 2 of those under 21 to interview about attitudes towards alcohol. You have given every student at the party the same chance of being interviewed. What is that chance? Well, of the over 21, we're selecting 3 out of 30, or a 1 in 10 chance. Under 21, 2 out of 20, which is 1 out of 10. So it is the same. We got a 1 in 10 chance. Okay? Now, the question is, why is your sample not a simple random sample? This is actually, it's a stratified random sample. It's a stratified and not a simple random sample. In a simple random sample, all possible groups are equally likely to be selected. This process will never select a group with 4 or more 21-year-olds and no groups with 3 or more under 21 year-olds. So a simple random sample would allow all groups of size 5 to be selected. Here you've stratified it to make sure that there's going to be exactly 3 over 21 and 2 under 21. So you never have like these groups. You'd actually not even have one where you'd have 2 or 1, depending on which group we're talking about. All right, continuing on to your next page. How was your stay? A hotel has 30 floors with 40 rooms per floor. It's a big hotel. Okay? The rooms on one side of the hotel face the water. The rooms on the other side face a golf course. There is an extra charge for the rooms with a water view. The hotel manager wants to survey 120 guests who stayed at the hotel during a convention about their overall satisfaction with the property. Explain why choosing a stratified random sample might be preferable to a simple random sample in this case. What would you use for a strata? Well, the key here is people will have different opinions depending on the outside view of their room. Okay. So, because of this, a simple random sample, one could get people who all had one of the views, which would not be a good representation of the population. One would then be better off by stratifying by the view of the room. Okay, so once you stratify by the room or view of the room, you could take a simple random sample of 60 rooms from the water view and 60 rooms from the golf view. To make up your simple random sample or your random sample of 120 rooms. Now, the last part here talks about clustering. Why might a cluster sample be a simpler option? What would you use as clusters? Okay, well, in this particular case, clustering would be easier and more efficient. Meaning it'd take less time. It's efficient with time. What you could do to use as a cluster is the cluster might be the room number, one from the water view, then the other from the golf view. Whoops, I did 3 O's there. So one room from the water view on
Good
a
morning,
floor.
staff. If you have seniors in your Monday advisory, please pick up the handout.
Okay, so now we would do this on one floor. Example. Say on the first floor it was room 102 was the water, and 103 was, room 103 was the golf. Then, on each floor, pick the same room numbers. Usually it'll be the same location. Per floor. Example, you would pick 202 and 302 and 402. This, or these rooms, would make up your sample. All right, that ends your CFU.